What's wrong about you? The whole world. What's wrong about you? They're coming for you.
I'm not the one that needs to watch their back.
This doesn't have to end in a fight, Tony. You just started a war. Stay down. Final warning. I could do this all day.
All right, I've run out of patience. On to roost!
Hey, everyone.
Hey guys, what's up? Shrog's back again with another movie spoilers review. This time, Captain America Civil War. And here's something I'm going to say right off the bat. If you guys haven't seen any of the Marvel Cinematic movies so far, and you're wondering, like, what should I watch before I watch Civil War? Here's my pick. Avengers, Winter Soldier, and then Age of Ultron. Because those three movies in particular lead into what's going on with this movie. Before I get into spoiler sections, non-spoiler section, obviously going to be the case. The movie revolves around, like, the Superhero Registration Act. And not in terms of secret identity, but more in terms of keeping the superheroes in check. It can no longer be like, a private organization. Like, now they have to be assets of the United States, and they can only go as far as to what they can do. And that's what's kind of being proposed by Thunderbolt Ross, character from Incredible Hulk. He shows up again, and he presents this. And Tony, you gotta think, like, what's gonna go through Tony's head, because considering what's happened with them, with Avengers, especially what happened with Age of Ultron, because, my god, that movie, I still think it's better than Avengers 2, and that's just my opinion, but the stuff that happens in that is really affecting him with what happens here. You get his perspective when it comes to, like, look, we haven't saved the world, but we gotta do this. We gotta own up to what we've done, and this, to me, makes total sense. Rhodey joins on him too. Vision also joins. Nat joins up with him too. And Black Panther, I'm just going to say that right now. You kind of get stuff from other people's perspective, like the opposing side of things. You have Captain America, you have Scarlet Witch, you have Ant-Man, and you've got Falcon. Those characters go in like, well, but hold on, we're supposed to be the protectors of Earth. We're not, basically surrendering acts. It's kind of like what happened with, not with S.H.I.E.L.D., but more so with Hydra's point of view. He can't, Steve kind of feels like that's kind of the route that they would be under if they can't go to their full capacity. Sometimes sacrifices have to be made when it comes to battles. You can't save everyone. I mean, Pietro, just saying. However, and again, you get these two ideologies from Tony and with Steve. And that, to me, like, when you look back at where things have been, from Avengers to now, like, that's huge. Like, that to me, like, there's always an ideology conflict between the two of them in the movies. But this one, to me, really sticks out and shines. I mean, that's kind of what the movie's about. You kind of get like, these ideology perspectives. And when Bucky comes into the mix, I mean, not only is it a game changer for Steve, but it kind of sets the team apart as well. It shows them kind of having their own side and their own ideologies on where things are going to go with that. Spider-Man, I'm just going to say this right now. This is the best Spider-Man we've gotten today. For Tom Holland, first thing he goes on screen, as soon as I see him, first lines he says, I cracked up, okay? I was cracking up like a fanboy, because if you guys have seen Spectacular Spider-Man, that show was gold. That was the best interpretation of Spider-Man we've got when it came to the cartoon series. And I always wanted to see someone portray that particular Spider-Man on the big screen. And we finally got it too. Same thing with Ant-Man. Like, you have some of his stuff. Him being the fanboy, I'm like, oh my god, you're Captain America. And, you know, the stuff with him and Falcon, like, yeah, here's the thing. Your little audition trial from Ant-Man was... We're not gonna speak of this for obvious reasons. Black Panther especially, okay? I don't want to say it's his origin story, but you get like it's kind of like a fragment of his origin story, taking up the mantle of Black Panther in and of itself. You've got Baron Zemo, who is the villain of the film. He was probably one of like the weaker aspects of the film, but that's just me. That's pretty much all I've got to say when it comes to Captain America: Civil War. Oh, I just want to get this right off the bat, okay? Steve Rogers and Agent 13, okay? There was something. I noticed something when it came to those two in Winter Soldier. You know, especially, like, you know, when Black Widow commented on, like, how, you know, how Steve should get with, like, Agent, like, you know, with the nurse Kate at the time, and then we found out it was Agent 13. And I was like, how is Peggy gonna react to this? That was my first thoughts. Here's the thing. Peggy dies, and I was like, oh shit. Because the text said she's gone to sleep, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh shit. Like, Peggy's dead. Like, she was, you know, one of the most important figures in his life, and now that she's gone, it's kind of torn him apart. At the funeral, we find out that Agent 13 is actually her niece, which is actually kind of amusing. And one of my friends, you know, when I went to go see it with them, they were like, isn't that kind of incesty? And I'm like, well, runs in the family, I guess? I'm just saying. This was me. It was kind of the same thing with, you know, with Nat and Bruce Banner and Age of Ultron, where I kind of saw a little bit of a hint in Avengers 1, but then they kind of showcased it in Ultron, which, to me, I was like, I'm not complaining about that. But yeah, the little side romance thing with Agent 13 and Captain America, I bought. I was like, yes. I'm like, finally he's got someone in his life. And that's getting the side romance off the hand. People were assuming that when Cap said that, you know, I know what I know, but, you know, he's my friend. And then when Tony says, so was I, people thought that was going to be the biggest moment. People thought the airport thing was going to be the biggest moment. Which, the airport thing, there is a lot of stuff that goes down in that fight, too. But the biggest moment has to be when Tony finds the recordings of how his parents died. And the look on his face, oh my god. That completely reminded me of the moment in Empire Strikes Back when, you know, when Vader tells Luke, I'm your father. That's kind of the moment that happens with Tony. You see, like, this emotion building up within him. And when he asks Steve, like, did you know? Like, I was at the edge of my seat. Like, because Tony, to me, has always been Playboy billionaire philanthropist, hilarious guy, gone through some deep shit in his life. I'm not gonna say that he hasn't gone through some deep shit, but when you see that moment, when you see, like, his parents die in the recordings, and then you see Bucky just slaughter them, like, that was a very, very emotional scene for me, especially when it came to Tony's character. So that, to me, I think is probably the biggest moment in the film. At that point of the movie, he's like, look, I'm going to come here to help you guys. The minute he sees that, no. Like, the rage and stuff, I can't stress enough about it. That was probably one of my top things. I want to get to Spider-Man, okay? Because that to me is another big importance here. Tom Holland, Peter Parker, if I haven't stressed it enough, the best Spider-Man that we've had to date. His comedic timing, just the way he enters the movie, and, like, you know, you see Aunt May talking with Tony, which Aunt May, oh my god, like, Rosemary Harris and Sally Fields have been the best Aunt Mays we've had so far. But this Aunt May, Marissa Tomei, she is the youngest Aunt May. Oh my god, like, I can already see the fanboys that are gonna be following after. I can already see that. And again, another friend I was seeing with the movie with, he couldn't keep his eyes off her, and I'm like, bro, that's all I gotta say for you. You know, like Tony walks in, tells her about like, you know, like this little internship that was going on, and Peter was like all confused, going like wait, what internship? I didn't sign up for anything. And you know, we find out that Tony's known about Spider-Man because, like, you know, some of the stuff that's happened through various videos of like him going around through the city, stopping bad guys and all that stuff, and the web shooters too. I love his web shooters. I really, really, really adore the web shooters that Peter had in the film. But the thing about the movie that really sparked me was the relationship that Tony and Peter had. It was brief because Peter's only in the movie for about 2 scenes. Let me just say that right now. He's only in the movie for about 2 scenes, but the 2 scenes he's in, he killed it. He killed it in the 2 scenes. It was at the scene when Tony visits Peter, and the airport scene, where, you know, Peter dons on the Spider-Man costume built by Tony. Because the Spider-Man costume that Peter had made, that's not that, it was hilarious. Oh my god. But, you know, when you see Peter as Spider-Man at the airport scene, doing shit that you expect him to do if you've read the comics, or if you've seen Spectacular Spider-Man, which to me is my definitive version of Spider-Man in any media, that's what you get. Like, that's the Spider-Man that you get when it comes to this particular incarnation, and I adore that about the film. That's one of the few things I really adore. And honestly, the 2 brief scenes Peter's in has gotten me very excited for Spider-Man Homecoming, which comes out next year. Those are my 2 contests on Spider-Man 2, especially, like, you know, when it comes to jokes. Like, oh my god, like, and the Empire Strikes Back moments with the ATT, I was like, Pete, I was like, stop. But again, his bits amazing. Ant-Man, again, he only shows up, you know, he shows up in the scene at the airport, and, you know, and briefly, like, you know, when he's being recruited and stuff. And his moments with Cap and Falcon, well, I've already mentioned that in the non-spoiler section, but again, Ant-Man and Spider-Man are, again, the 2 most hilarious dudes in the film. And Ant-Man going giant mode? I know that's the thing that's happened in the comics, so it wasn't really a surprise to me. But I was sitting there going like, wait a minute, where was this? Where was this in Ant-Man? Because I know he could shrink and he can go back to normal size. I'm like, Ant-Man, do you want to explain? I mean, it has been some time since the events of Ant-Man, so maybe it's something he kind of learned over the course between this film and Ant-Man with, you know, with Hank Pym's character. And that's kind of what my 2 contests when it comes to him. Yeah, with Black Panther, though, you get his whole point of view, and to me, his change in the movie is very gradual too, okay? Because he has this vendetta against Bucky for obvious reasons, because Bucky killed his father when he was giving out the speech. And now he has this vendetta to go after Bucky, so he's on Team Iron Man. Throughout the movie, that's all he's want to do is like, you know, take him down. But then by the end of the movie, you find out this whole thing between, you know, splitting the Avengers up, it's all because of Baron Zemo. When you find out, initially he's on the perspective of killing him, of Baron Zemo. But then, when you find out what happens with his character, especially when you get to the end, like, vengeance is not the right path to take. And, you know, he just kind of lets go. And you kind of get a little mini origin with him. It's kind of like setting him up as Black Panther, but he donned on the costume too. I mean, aside from that, you kind of, and again, from Scarlet Witch, you get her whole point of view too. With she wants to be contained after. I mean, who can really blame her? Because the events that happened in the beginning of the movie with Crossbones, and then the stuff that happened in Age of Ultron, like you can't blame her for doing what she's trying to do. You know, like with Vision trying to like safeguard her and all that stuff. Kind of having a little spark between those two, in my personal opinion. And the reason why she joined Captain America, she felt like Tony had kind of kept her in, not like in a prison type situation, if that makes any sense. That's something that happened with her, and why she joined Cap is one of the key things because, again, she was one of the few people, aside from Natasha and Falcon, who was already on their team. Talking about Nat, okay, because some of the things she feels like that was going on in the event of the movies, she agrees with Tony, and she joined up with them. And, you know, for the most part, she is on his side. But then, you know, there's one particular moment that happens at the airport, okay? She lets Bucky and Captain America go. And obviously that sets her off from Team Iron Man. And it also gets to a point where Tony says, look, they're going to come for you. And, you know, Nat says, I'm not the one who needs to watch my back. And she kind of just, like, walks away. I believe that's the last time we see her in the film. Because I don't remember seeing her after that particular point in the movie itself. So after that bit happens, and especially when the airport scene is done. Because, again, that's the last time we see Peter. It's the Ant-Man is still... He's still there. But he spends, you know, the other bits of his time, like, in prison along with the other members of Captain America. But... Rhodey. That's, I think, out of everything that happened in the movie, I think that's the last bit of news, the last piece of things I'm going to touch on when it comes to this review. Rhodey gets shot, and basically, you know, it kind of sets Iron Man off for obvious reasons, because, like, some of the, again, I've mentioned this, he's gone through a lot of shit with what's in the movies, and when it comes to Rhodey, like, Rhodey in the trailers, people are assuming, is he gonna die? And I'm like, no, I don't want Rhodey to die, because Rhodey to me is, you know, best pals with Iron Man. I don't want to see that shit go to waste. Luckily he survives, but, you know, he's got an exoskeleton. Rhodey from this point on is gonna have a much difficult time getting used to, like, his surroundings, especially, you know, like, after he got shot down. That is pretty much it when it comes to this particular movie review on Captain America Civil War. My overall rating on the movie. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. I thought about it too. I was going to give it a break the scale rating just now. But Zemo to me is, I think he's probably the weakest aspect of the film, in my opinion. I'm going to give Captain America Civil War Amazing Plus. And if you want to jot that down into number perspectives, 9.5 out of 10. This is the movie I probably am going to go rewatch again like a couple more times, because it was just that amazing. Some things I've been excited for now too. Black Panther and Spider-Man Homecoming. Those are my two biggest anticipation movies when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, aside from Infinity Wars. Aside from that, guys, that is pretty much it when it comes to my review on Captain America Civil War. I'm Shirag. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on Captain America Civil War. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, I don't know why you're watching the review, because I did say first 5 minutes or so on is going to be spoilers. Like I said before, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on the movies, and I will catch you guys next time.